It's the middle of the night as always. I kind of wanted to talk to you guys, or rather myself. Mm. Um, Damn, where do I begin? So, hey everyone. I kind of wanted to make a video because I so hey everyone. I wanted to make a video because I haven't felt too great the last week or so, I don't know. And I thought that it could be helpful to just speak freely. And that's really why I started to make videos, is to just get the thoughts out of my head, the thoughts that I can't really write down. I'm not a good writer. However, I did find a journal. I did find this old journal that I think that I should probably start writing in a bit more, because I think I need it. But anyways, so for the ones that don't know, I have more or less always struggled with mental health. And I don't know, I feel like I've been so influenced by like social media and everything to think that you shouldn't identify with your mental illness or this and that it would just simply continue like a bad cycle or something. um, but the truth is that I do struggle a lot with mental health, and I'm not sure if that's because I have a skewed idea of what I think that I should feel and like be in my day-to-day life. Like maybe I simply just have way too high expectations of myself and my capabilities, or my brain, like chemical compound uh, in my brain is simply a certain way that makes me feel um, not so good all the time. And this fucking thing is not. Why is it? It's like, why is it doing that? Like, what's going on here? I don't understand why it's not straight. Anyways, so what I'm saying is that this is something that I've, I guess, struggled with my whole life. It's definitely not something new at all. Um, but more or less recently, I like learned a new word, I guess, or a new phrase, a new like phenomena, which is suicidal ideation. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that because it is something that I realize that I face a lot. And so suicidal ideation is basically when not necessarily the idealization of committing suicide, but it's just, well, it can be, but it's not necessarily that for me at least. I'm not suicidal, but I think about committing suicide a lot. Um, and I was suicidal when I was a teenager. Um, when I was like 13, or like, yeah, I'd say like when I was from 12, 13 to like 16, uh, I was very suicidal. And I think that also kind of changed something in my head to the point where it's always my plan B. Um, I've never been afraid of death, ever. Like, even since before that, like when I was a child, like I never had a fascination with death, or I never really saw it as anything other than just it ends, you know? Um, and so, like, the concept of suicide was never too abstract, even before I was suicidal myself. Um, and I think those years in general, I think sadly, they shaped me in ways that I don't really enjoy now, and ways that I also don't really know how to change. Um, Despite having gone to therapy for many years, I've never been able to find a good enough, like, I guess, therapeutical structure, or um, like the right kind of therapy, I guess. Um, and so, yeah, back to the point. The point is that now I came across this word that's called suicidal ideation, and also now that I know that I'm autistic, um, I've decided that I will probably try one more time when it comes to therapy, because it's actually quite terrible, um, to feel like this, or like to have this, to have suicide on your mind, and like it's so close, all the time, and like not in a good way, like even in my happiest moments, and I'm like, I can be like, oh, I'm really happy right now. If I die now, I think that I would be okay with dying. And that is something that, like, I don't like. These are also things that I don't talk to other people about, so maybe this is way more common than I think. I don't know. But like, having that as a, like, always, even in my happiest moments, is always like overshadowed, or there's always like some um feeling like at the back of my head or behind me. It's like I oh, this video might be really like dark, so I apologize ahead of time of that, but it feels like there's always like some, um, like a sense of that I have a shadow that's always over me, in a sense. And I think that on one hand, it's just the way that I protect myself from any real emotion, I guess. To simply just be like, oh, this is a great moment or this is a hard moment. Um, and instead of, I guess, feeling it fully, my brain kind of just like, oh, well, if this is it, this is it. You could just, like, it's just a way, I think, that my brain is trying to protect itself essentially from strong emotions. But it's also just something that it's a bit, you know. Also, as I said, since I am autistic, um, which is also so weird because like I don't really know what that means. Like I just know that I am, and but I don't really know what it means. Um, I just know that it's something that creates a lot of uh, I guess anxiety, um, and uncertainty and like unclarity, I guess. But a lot of autistic people apparently struggle with suicidal ideation because, um, or at least I saw a short video about it, and I was just like, oh well, I guess that's alright. But it's because since a lot of autistic brains work out of a sense of um, like efficiency. Committing suicide is a very convenient way to simply get shit done, and so a lot of autistics um, kind of encountered this ideation of committing suicide because not necessarily out of like a romanticization of not being alive, but simply because it would solve a lot of things that they might face. And when I learned that, I was like, oh shit, like maybe that is also part of why I've thought so much about suicide and why I have certain, you know, mental struggles, I guess. Um, but also just I guess to talk to like some of the struggles that I do face. Like for me, it's a lot. Most of it has to do with what's it called? Självbild, like the way that you view yourself, self love and self acceptance, and all of these things. For me, I would say that these are the things that I struggle with the most. But it's like a constant battle between what I know and what I think I know and what I feel and what I um, you know can make logic out of. For example, logically, like I'm not that bad of a person, I think. Um, and then, from day to day, I think I'm the best person ever. Like I genuinely like get this like no, I wouldn't say like it that like it's like it is a like God ideal because I wouldn't go that far. But some days I really just feel like I'm the shit, and I think that's quite normal. But then, and it just switches, like it can go from day to day or from hour to hour, and it's just um, quite annoying because it can feel like I'm lying to myself about how I truly feel about myself, which is really, really annoying. Because like I would love to be sure of who I am and what I feel about myself. Um, but sadly, the only thing that I really always come back to is the fact that I don't love myself, that I'm actually not entirely proud of who I am, and I guess it breaks my heart a little bit. Like I want to truly love myself, and I want to truly be kind um, to myself and to others, and I want to be compassionate. Um, but I haven't really found a way to truly be that with myself, I guess. And this is not really working out the way I want it to. Anyways, I'm just gonna continue. Whatever. So yeah, this is at the same time it's like it's kind of sad. I feel so I feel a bit like what's it called, like what's like a con artist almost. I was talking to my friend the other day because her boyfriend essentially broke up with her, and I was talking to her about it, and I tried to encourage her and um, give her some perspective the best way that I could, and I told her, like, just try to see it. Like, I know it's extremely difficult for you, and it's going to be, and it will take time for you to like really be able to get over this, because of course, like, it hurts. You really thought that you guys would have a future together, and all of a sudden all of that is gone, and that's going to hurt. But at the same time, you can also just, like, I guess essentially choose how to remember it. Like, you can remember it as the good things, or you can remember it as the bad things. Like, obviously you're gonna remember both, but you can like kind of make a decision. Like, you can kind of pick out of like what perspective you will remember it as a memory. You can choose to remember this or to remember that. You're going to remember it all, but you can kind of like mentally choose to remember in a certain light. And I don't know how true that is. I think it is quite true. It's what I try to do with anything, really. At the same time, sometimes that, in my case, like, I don't know if that's good advice or not, because sometimes I feel like that's, I don't know, maybe lying to yourself. And I remember told her that as well. Like, I said that, like, that will also take time, but hopefully at the end of the day you will be able to make that decision, and like do it for yourself, like do it to be able to move on in life and be free without holding a grudge, and just be free and walk around with a pure heart. But at the same time, maybe you're fully able to walk around with a pure heart that's filled with rage and hate towards certain people. Maybe that is the purest thing you can do, really, if that's just simply your emotion to that thing. And maybe as people, we shouldn't really manipulate, manipulate these things. Um, I don't know. I was trying to share up and hopefully it worked. Maybe I was a bit too harsh. I'm not really sure. Um, but I remember also asking her, like, we also kind of spoke like, because she was a little bit, and it's so common, like, I think a lot of people think like this from time to time, and it's not just in like a loving relationship, like a romantic relationship. It's just in any other, anytime you really interact with people and you face a certain outcome, we, most of us, I think, um, I mean, everyone just like, what's it called, like, reacts to um, rejection differently. And obviously, you can work on how that reaction like provokes you, or how far it reaches you. Um, and that all just kind of circles back to like your sense of self and your self-worth and self-love and everything. And so we were kind of talking about that a little bit, and I asked her, like, because she was like, what did I do wrong, or where did I go wrong, or could I have done anything else to have changed the outcome? And I was like, well, are you proud of who you are and what you did and this and that? And she was like, I don't know, like, I'm not sure. And then I said, like, well, maybe you should start there then, because you're never gonna know for certain what his reasoning was to break up. But if you manage to find within yourself like enough security and love to be sure that whatever and wherever you go, um, in life, you move in authenticity to yourself, then you won't be like rocked, like the boat won't rock by the waves. And even if it does, you will be secure in the boat, because you know that, well, this is me, like, this is me, this is my boat. And I know that this boat, it doesn't leak. I know that this boat can hold against strong waves, because this is who I am, this is who I'm proud to be, and this is who I'm secure in this. I love myself. And so, yeah, I don't know, we spoke about that. And back to me. So I sometimes really feel like my boat is very secure. Like, at the end of the day, I am very I'm very okay with who I am. I'm very okay with my life. Do I love it? No. Do I hate it? No. Do I love myself? Yeah, all the time. No. Um, and well, first of all, maybe that's fine. Maybe I don't have to, love myself all the damn time, every single waking minute of the day. But at the same time, I'd love to have some stability in my life, like, both like outside of myself, but maybe mostly like in my own head. And I keep, oh my god, there's this Mac Miller song. Um, if you don't know, he's a rapper who committed suicide after a very long battle with depression and drug abuse. And he has these songs that, like, it's really sad actually. He has this one song on like his last album before he um, took his life, where he says that um, like something about like sunshine not um, like how sunshine doesn't feel good when you're inside all day. And not that I relate to that, but I'm just saying um, that was the wrong colors. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. What am I doing? Oh, but that was pretty though. Maybe I should do it in this instead. Hmm. I wonder, like, because this obviously wasn't the right color. Yeah, anyway, so he, in another line, fuck. Oh my god, that was. I knew I shouldn't have done that. You know what? Another thing that I really. Oh no, it actually was the right thing. But another thing that I really struggle with is like, I keep continuing to make like really stupid, like silly mistakes that really like can really fuck my head up. Like, for example, let's say let's take like a stupid thing. Like, for example, some weeks back, I was so excited to go to salsa, and I was on time in the beginning, but I ended up being extremely late, like extremely late to salsa. And it fucking broke me for some reason, and I cried about it so much to my friend. And also, I think, like, I don't know, it's funny. She was also like, are you on your are you on your period? And I was like, yeah, girl, I'm sorry. Like, she was like, oh, it's okay. Like, and it happens. And I can't decide on if I want it like this. Actually, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna do it however. And if I don't like it, I'm just gonna remake it. Shit, it's not that fucking deep. Okay, so wait, I need a. What colors do I need? Two purple, purple, white, purple. And yeah, and I kept like, I don't know. It was so silly because I got there super late. And when I say like, I mean that I got there 4 hours late. And I was just like, that's fucking not normal. Like, how can you be 4 hours late? And all I had to do was to get fucking dressed. I don't know. Um, but like stuff like that. And I feel like those things are like small moments that I feel like I could have done so many different things to not let myself down in that moment, because I really knew that like this was an important um evening for me, because I had been feeling a bit bad, the whole week, and finally I was able to go to salsa, and this is something that I truly enjoy. And well, I I feel like I just let myself down by not being on time, and doing that so many times, like over small things, I feel like it kind of has made me a little bit, damn, has made me like a little bit, I guess, I'm trusting on myself almost, um, which feel, I don't know, it's a bit sad, I guess. Um, um, but like, I don't know. I guess these are just like some thoughts that I have been thinking about recently, I guess. I don't know. Um, but also just in general, like I also oh, listen, this is my video, this is my platform, and well, if my friends see this, I'm sorry, like but what I wanted to say is that I also struggle. Well, do I struggle? I don't struggle with loneliness, but feel extremely lonely so much. Do I feel lonely a lot? I don't know. I feel like that's not really what it is though. To put it simply, I don't feel like I have any friends. I don't feel like I have any people that I can confide in. Uh, and I have a constant fear of being um, I guess abandoned, but it's not really the abandonment that's scary, because I don't know, I couldn't really care less about it, but I feel like I have a deep fear of um, being, I guess, abandoned before like being me. Like the abandonment itself, I couldn't really give a shit, honestly. Um, it's like you meet people and having to wake up in a new day without a friend, or like after losing something that was very important to you, or that in itself doesn't scare me at all. Like I know that that's something very easy to handle. um like losing people close to you, um like friends and stuff. I think that it's, or rather relationships, I'd say, not friends, but like losing relationships, I couldn't really care less, honestly. But the fear is more so from doing my best to being myself, and then that being the reason why somebody might not want to be friends anymore. And like people seeing this side of me that's very present, it's here very often, and it's maybe not fun. Like I guess I'm not always like a fun time. And the fear that I carry is that, essentially. And a friend of mine recently said that a good idea for me to approach this matter in particular is just to communicate better about um, how I function, and to do it early on, to essentially approach a new relationship with the statement that, hey, by the way, or hey, like, just a heads up, like, um, I'm like this, and well, you might be affected, and you're gonna have to make a decision out of that, but I want to approach you in this, just having that said, that it's not about you, it's nothing personal or anything, and it's also not something that you can necessarily do anything about. It's just that it might be something that may or may not affect you, and like on a personal level, like on a personal level, but on like a relational level, this is something that I face a lot. And I guess it is also something that, as a friend, um, you would have to interact with. And how you choose to do that, that is up to you. I know what I need from a friend, or to be able to actually consider you my friend and not just an acquaintance. I need certain things. Um, However, it's not something that I like. It won't rule out a relationship on my end. If all those needs aren't met, we can also just be casual friends or a casual acquaintance, um, or something like that, I guess. And she told me this, and I thought that was really good advice. And I am going to take it with me. Um, but at the same time, it also kind of feels, or like having to do that also just kind of makes me feel a little bit broken. Because I guess in an ideal world, I wouldn't have to explain myself or explain um, explain that. But I don't know. I also feel like I'm quite haunted by that thing, like misery loves company. Because I guess that is true in a sense. But I also don't. I think there's multiple people in my life that have decided to step back from being a friend or an acquaintance because of these like moments of weakness that I have, or moments of um, me acting a certain way unintentionally that puts them in a position of awkwardness, or um, where I might bring, like, in other people's words, that, like, where I may have brought them down to my level when they was at another level, um, like emotionally, and where maybe I feel like people have decided to take a step back from being vulnerable with me because they felt like it was maybe too heavy, or that I was doing too much, or this, that, or the third. Um, if that's what they need, then that's the right thing to do. Um, but it does make me feel a little bit like I'm trying to envision myself having this conversation with somebody and them finding meaning in it, or finding a certain enjoyment in it, or finding it as something other than nuisance. What's it called? Like nuance, like finding it as anything else than an annoyance, essentially. Um, and I wish that I could say that I believe that that's possible, I guess, or that I believe that um, but so far I've probably only met people that has been bothered by it in one way or another. I did, however, meet a friend not too long ago who had also been struggling with, I guess, dark thoughts or something. And I remember we had this conversation, and in that moment it felt quite meaningful, like it was something, it felt liberating, like talking to somebody who found some peace of mind in having a heavy conversation about really heavy things, um, where it wasn't necessarily just like a trauma dump, uh, but it was like an honest conversation about like how to live and how to continue, um, trying, um, your best in a life where you might not feel like you have any will to continue. And it was nice because we could have that conversation, and the next minutes we were, watching the sunset nearby a castle, um together with like other people as well, like and we just had a good time. Like it wasn't heavy to talk about heavy things. It was just like any other conversation, and it was like just as enjoyable as something else. And I think that, um, although sad, I don't really know where I'm at with that person right now, but I it was a really nice moment. Like whenever we would fall into that, um, it felt very real, I guess. And to me, at least, it didn't feel like at all as something in the likes of like misery loves company. It was just like any other conversation. It wasn't made out of seeking attention or seeking acceptance or anything like that. It was really just, hey, have you thought about this? And I was like, I mean, yeah, I guess. How do you deal with that? And it was just like, I mean, I kind of just, you know, and it also wasn't like in a sense of like, oh, but maybe you should fix this, or maybe you should try this to get better. Like it wasn't in the spirit of trying to fix each other or like giving each other advice at all. It was really just like, hey, do you experience this? Yes. How do you experience that? Okay, cool. Do you experience this? Yes. How do you experience that? Oh, okay, cool. And then next thing or next question, like it was more just a understanding of sorts, I guess. um I don't know what I was trying to say with that, but anyways, back to this Mac Miller thing. um he has this one line where it's really sad because he did commit, and in one of his songs he says that, like, I don't, it goes like, mm, my regrets look something like this, I shouldn't said. I got neighbors, more like strangers, we could be friends. I just need A way out of my head. I'd do anything for a way out of my head. My regrets looks just like text I shouldn't send. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. So he says like my regrets looks just like text I shouldn't send, and I got neighbors. They're more like strangers. We could be friends. I just need a way out of my head. I do anything for a way out of my head. And oh, it's so painful to at the end of the day he found a way out. And I'm really happy for him that he did. It's a very, very raw line. It's a very, very human, such a humble and just beautiful line. And the way that he sings it as well, it's a because he makes it sound like it's a sigh of relief almost, like I just need a way out of my head. Like it's such a, I guess common, not common might not be the word, but it sounds so regular. Like I just need a way out of my head. Like that's it. Like that's the solution. I need a way out of my head. Also, struggling with addiction and everything, like it's so it's so it's so deeply honest. Like I just need a way out of my head. Like that's really what I need. that's it. Like that's the solution, and I'll be okay. Like if I wasn't in here, I would be okay. And then he continues it up with, I do anything for a way out of my head. And it sounds like a like I do anything for a way out. Like it's just so it's a side of like a hopeful thinking, but also relief because it's like he knew like he knew that that's the reason, like that's or like that's the solution. Like if he's able to just get out of whatever mental state and whatever mental place he's at, he would be right, like he would be fine. Like he probably knew like all of the people around it that loved him, and he was probably very appreciative of the success that he had as well, and like his life in general. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it was all in his head, and he knows that. And it's really painful living like that, because in a way it makes you hate yourself because you know you're so aware of it, but the awareness isn't enough to actually be the solution and to take the steps to actually change the ways that your mind works. It can, I think that also like, I guess I also haven't really thought about it, but to change the way that you think, it might work for some, but for some it might not actually work. Some people might just have to accept that my brain simply just functions like this. Like I can do everything that I can to make it as easily manageable and to make it as manageable as possible. But I think that some people might just not be able to like rewire their brains fully to actually being okay in a sense. Like some people might just have to be okay with not being okay for the rest of their lives, and I think a lot of people simply don't want to do that. It's not even as a question of like can they handle it, or if they can't, it's more just like do I actually want to live a full life, like a whole life knowing this? Because also in that same song he also says that, I think it's the same song, it might be a different one, but he also says, yeah, I think he says like they told me it only gets better. My regrets feel looks just like text I should have sent. And I got neighbors, they're more like strangers. We could be friends. I just need a way out of my head. I do anything for a way out of my head. Yeah, I don't know. He also said that like they told me it only gets better. But then it's just like, yeah, but how long should I wait? When does it get better? Anyways, So yeah. I I guess, as I said, I don't really have a I don't know, this video is really just me thinking out loud about some struggles that I face that I don't talk to anyone else about really, but maybe it will make somebody else feel less lonely, or uh, yeah. I guess maybe we can do that, and that's honestly, that would be great. um so yeah, that was it, I guess. And I don't know, I guess, to be clear, I'm not actually like suicidal. It's just something that I think about a lot, and that's not always pleasant to think about, but I mean, it is what it is. What can we do? What can we do? I think that I myself probably just need. Damn, I keep doing the same mistake. It's because I'm not focused. What's going on? I feel like I need to become more secure in myself, to not be as affected by like the smaller mistakes, and like the uh, like really, I guess, unimportant things. Or maybe I should just embrace it, and just embrace the fact that I'm like that. I am super emotional, um, a lot of the times, by shit that shouldn't really matter that much, I guess. But at the same time, it's like, isn't that the beauty of life? Like, isn't that also the beauty of life, of feeling all of the emotions, not just the happy ones? And it's also like, I think my biggest struggle is that, like, I'm usually quite okay when I'm simply like, I guess, isolating more or less. Like, when I'm really truly just by myself with myself, I'm usually quite alright. Um, but it's more so like, as soon as I have to go out in the real world and interact with other people, that's when all of my insecurities kind of comes up to the maybe not even insecurities. That's, well, yes, it's also that, um, but that's probably like when my um, yeah, when all of these things come up, and I was going somewhere with that. Where was it going? I don't know. But yeah, so that's usually like where my insecurities come up, and like where I face these things. And So, I mean, honestly, I guess I just have to continue doing it. Obviously, I'm not going to isolate for the rest of my life. I just have to continue being me. And I guess maybe I should just see a lot of these like social interactions as like practice to kind of understand who I am in social situations. Because I guess I haven't had enough like training. I guess training isn't like the right word, but I guess I haven't had like enough social exposure to really, you know, I guess know how to. I have to. Oh my god. I have to write a letter to my friend. I should probably do it now. Oh, I don't even know. Like, I don't know if I told you guys, but I guess one of my. I don't know if he's my best friend or if he's not. It doesn't matter. A meaningful person to me is in prison. And I didn't know if I wanted to write to him or not because honestly, I don't have much to say to him at all. Um, but I just realized that I think that he, you know, there's like a saying or like some shit that I have seen online as well. That's like something about kind of like you have to accept that no one will truly understand you. Like you're gonna have to accept that, no one will truly understand you because of the simple fact that no one will ever be you from inside of your own head, like people will really only understand you from what they can see. Like there will always be this barrier of physicality that I am me and you are other. And uh, at least for like almost like to a certain extent, depending on where you're at and how deeply connected you are as people and as souls, and in vulnerability, um, some people will definitely be as close as like humanly possible to truly understand you, but on a personal level, because you can also go into like the fourth dimension and be like, oh, but we're all the same, like we are one. Yes, we are, but here on this human level, no one will truly ever truly understand you fully because of literally because of fucking time and space, because this is one thing and this is another thing and that is another thing and that's that. However, I think what helps with that, and just in general as well, is if you have childhood friends or if you have friends that have actually seen you going through the motions of life, um, the people that have actually seen you at your worst or but also at your best, like the people that has seen a full range of who you are as a person, especially throughout the years, like how we grow, what affects us mentally and physically, like or in life in general, like the people that has seen all of that, I think those are, if you have those people in your life, they definitely, they are important, because at least for me, I think I don't have many of the, I kind of don't have any of those people, kind of. Um, at least not, well, I do have one, like, and the few people that I have that are like that, that's him. He's one of those people, and my other friend, that I sadly don't really have much contact with, because we live in different cities and our lives had just taken two entirely different directions, and because of that, we don't really talk too much. We're on absolutely good terms, and she is my beautiful friend. Um, but yeah, anyways, I think, however, I think that he, like, and also, by the way, I'm giving him probably way too much credit by even mentioning him this much, because I also just don't think that he fucking, I don't, like, he's probably not aware of any of this shit at all. But I would probably say, as far as having seen me going through the motions of life, he's probably seen um the most, if not from my girlfriend that I mentioned. But one thing that I really, I guess, appreciate that he did was that he took my social awkwardness as something so whatever. Like, he didn't ever see it as anything else than whatever. Like, he didn't even, like, and it wasn't even like oh no, she's just like that. It was literally in a sense of like, oh, really? I haven't even thought of it. Like, like, in that way, even, like, it's almost like comical, like how some other people might view certain things that I did as like really weird, and he would just be like, that's just her, like, that's just so, like, like, or even to be, even like to be like, no, she's cool, like, what do you mean, like, oh, she did that, now she's cool, like, or like, I don't matter, she cool, like. And I really, really, really appreciate, like, I he never made me feel weird for the things that I usually felt weird for. Like, was he weird? Yes, he was very weird. Did he do weird things? Did he, like, yes. Did we do weird things? Yes. Did I do weird things? Yes. Um. Oh, is this the? Oh no, it's the same fucking thing. Okay, but he never made me feel weird about being weird. Like, it was never a thing. I think a lot of other friends that I've had, they'd be like, I don't know. Like, I have other friends that also, I guess, accept me for who I am. Um, And that's also kind of why I say, like, I don't even think that he actually cared. Like, sometimes I think that he genuinely didn't care about me at all, and that's why he didn't care about these things. Like, why it didn't matter to him. It doesn't really matter. Like, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Because also, this was so many years back. Like, now we really don't hang out. We have basically no contact, but we did hang out a lot for a good year or 2 years, many years back now. But I guess, like, some people, some other friends that I have, they could be like, yeah, like, she's, yeah, no, I'm gonna remove this. I didn't like that. I liked what I did first more. They could be like, oh yeah, no, like, you're a little bit awkward, or like, you're a little bit like this, um and like, maybe you could try this, and maybe that would make things easier, or maybe you could do that and that would make things easier, or um like, for the sake of yourself and for other people, these are some things that you could fix. And I guess maybe I'm being a bit hypocritical, because, like, wasn't that exactly what I, like, the advice that I did to my friend about the whole breakup thing? I don't know, girl. um but a lot of the times, like, I think that that's the kind of advice that I've been met with. And but with him, like, he was literally just like, yeah, I mean, you're like that, but I like you anyways. Like, we all fuck with you anyways. Like, it's really not a big deal, because, like, either you get it or you don't. If you don't get it, that's cool. Like, like, he was so he wasn't nonchalant about it. He was just very, like, he's also autistic, so he was just very autistic about it, and it was kind of liberating, because I was like, yeah, you're right, actually. Like, I guess I really just am like that. um but yeah, so I guess I wanted to write him a letter. But I don't know. I don't even know where he's located. But I guess the first step is to write the letter, and then I'll figure the rest out later. The last thing I kind of want to mention is that, this whole thing with manifesting and everything. Fuck, it tires the shit out of me. Like, the whole premise of, like, you can manifest anything, and it will come into, like, creation, and that you have the power to create everything, your destiny, and this and that and the third, and that it's like, you know just the whole concept of manifestation. Like, I fully believe that it's real, I'm not questioning that at all. But it's also one of many reasons why I've decided to not be online as much, because it's just exhausting, like seeing so much of this whole thing, and like, oh, if you're not manifesting, what are you doing? Like, just manifest, just do this, just do that, and everything will turn out fine. Now, as I said, I'm not questioning that at all, but I am saying it's very exhausting seeing it all the time. And because, in all fairness, I don't think that I'm really manifesting anything at all, at least not consciously. Like, unconsciously, of course, we are always doing that. Um, but consciously, I'm really not doing it, and I think that I should probably try a little bit, like at least like starting to journal, because maybe I'll see a change. Like I do believe that I really do think that I should start writing things down more. And thankfully, like now in the last month, somehow, like I feel like I've kind of stepped into a new pace in life. I'm not at all as, I guess, stressed or something. Like, I don't know, I just feel like I've stepped into a new pace. Um, and I think that I'll try to use that as well as to, I guess, slow down. Like, even though I haven't done a lot, like I'm not like a really productive person, but just in like time, I feel like I've slowed down a little bit, and I should probably, I guess, capitalize on that, like build on that by doing more things that are slower, like doing these things, very tedious things. It takes a lot of time, and it does take up quite a lot of energy, like focus wise. Um, no, but it's nice. It's funny. My friend was like, "Do you? Oh, but you enjoy it, right?" I was like, "Do I? Do I enjoy it, or is it just tedious? I don't know. I do enjoy it, but it's not like I enjoy it all the time, you know." But yeah, either way, I am sure that everything will work out. I at least have to hope that it will. Otherwise, I can't do this shit, bro. I can't do. Um, but yeah, so this was this video. Um, as I said, it would be a bit heavier than what I usually post, but once again, my whole point with this channel is to share a life. This is mine, you know? This is mine. And so I will see you soon again, like in the next video, and it will probably a video from either Colombia or from when I was in Montenegro. I was just there for a few days, but I was in Unshinj. I have no idea how to say that. I'm so sorry. Unchin. How the fuck? But yeah, so it will either be that or it will be I think the second video from Medellin. But yeah, thank you for watching, and good night.